I'm Joseph Hoffman, and in this tutorial, I will help you learn how to play Wet Hands from Minecraft Volume Alpha by the composer Daniel Rosenfeld, also known by username C418. Let's come to the piano to start learning. All right, first let's do a full playthrough of Wet Hands. By the way, you can purchase this sheet music for download and printing from home using the link below, which I highly encourage you to do so you can learn this even faster. Pause if you need some time to download and print the sheet music. If you're ready, let's take a look at the key signature. You'll notice 3 sharps in our key signature. That's F, C, and G. Those 3 sharps put us in the key of A major. Some people like to go through and circle all the C's, F's, and G's in your score. Pause if you'd like some time to do that so you are ready for all those sharps that are coming. And don't forget, the natural symbol cancels the sharp. Like here in measure 9, we've got some G naturals. G would normally be sharp, but the natural cancels it. All right, let's take a look at line 1. Here's my middle C. Our left hand starts on this low A. The right hand starts on this A, just a little below middle C. And we want this to be flowing and beautiful. Notice there's damper pedal markings underneath, so use the damper pedal. And that little up-down part of the damper pedal, that arrow up, says to lift the damper pedal right as you play the note that it's underneath. An up and then back down will help it from getting too blurry sounding. Up, down. All right, pretty simple pattern here. Pause if you'd like some time to work on that first line. Otherwise, let's go on when you're ready to measure 5. Now the melody comes in. Right hand's going to come up to this G sharp. And I think the trick to making this sound really beautiful is playing the left hand as gently as possible while you let the right hand sing out, because that's the melody. And let's just focus on the right hand for a second. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3. And let's stop right there. Pause if you'd like some time to work on the right hand part. Otherwise, let's look at what the left hand is doing. The left hand has this A major triad that it's just playing in a broken arpeggio. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. And then we come up to a D major triad in measure 6, then back to A major. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then up to D major. So think in chords, you're just playing an A major chord, then a D major chord in measure measure 8. 1 and 2 and 3, and then together we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And notice how I'm making the right hand louder than the left hand. And that can be tricky to do at first, but one secret for that is just the first time you try it, just let the left hand touch the keys. Pretend to play. I call it ghost playing without actually playing, while you make the right hand extra loud. And that will train the left hand to be extra soft, and then just barely let it play. Makes more beautiful sound than... See, if you hammer out the left hand, it's not going to sound nearly as beautiful. Now, pause if you'd like some time to work on that line. Otherwise, let's look at this next phrase. I'm going to start on the last two notes of the right hand in measure 8, because this is leading into, see, these two notes kind of lead into that G natural, which I think is a really beautiful sound here. Let's look at just the right hand. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... Why am I counting? 1 and 2 and 3 and... This is what musicians do. If you've watched a lot of my lessons, you know how important counting and rhythms are. So those counts will help you play these rhythms correctly. All right, pause if you'd like some time to work on the right hand part. Otherwise, let's look at what the left hand is doing. Left hand in measure 9 starts with this G major triad, broken as always, 1 and 2 and 3 and then here we get something a little tricky, 1 and 2 and 3. Notice how we crossed over. We play this G major, and then finger 3 is going to glide over to the F sharp. Finger 1 comes over to this A. 1 and 2 and 3. Try that. 1 and 2 and 3. Now your turn. You want it to be a nice, gentle motion. Don't make a big deal with a lot of arm motion. Just let finger 3 glide over. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And then measure 11. We've got this, and then this same pattern again. Pause if you'd like some time to work on the left hand. Otherwise, let's see what this sounds like together. I'm going to start on the last two notes of measure 8, because that's part of this phrase. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... By the way, I'm still using damper pedal even though there's no pedal markings underneath. That's because up in measure 7, see where it says pedal simile? Simile means keep doing the same thing. So you're going to keep doing that same pattern of an up-down on the first beat of each measure. Now pause if you'd like some time to work on line 3, which is measures 9 through 12. And when you're ready, let's go on and look at line 4. We'll start on the last note of line 3, because again, this note leads into the next phrase. So our finger 5 is going to come to this A, and then we have this same pattern. Very similar to the first line, but it changes a little bit in measure 14. So watch that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Pause if you'd like some time to work on that. Otherwise, let's look at this next section. Now the right hand plays two notes together starting in measure 15. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 comes up to E. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 4 and... All right, pause if you'd like some time to work on that. Otherwise, let's look at the left hand. The left hand is playing this B minor chord in broken style, starting in measure 15, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then comes down to a G major triad, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then here we get an E major arpeggio. So it's an E major chord with this extra E on top. So to play that, you'll use finger 5, 3, 2, 1, and then come back down with the same fingers. 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, and let your hand just glide through those notes. Keep a comfortable, relaxed wrist. 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5 with damper pedal to make it beautiful. 2, 3, 2. Notice this last note of measure 20 goes back up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So let's listen to this whole section now, hands together. I'm going to go back to the the last note of measure 12. Last note of measure 12 to bring us into line 4. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 4 and... Pause if you'd like some time to work on that. Otherwise, let's take a look at measure 21. Right hand, finger 4 comes up to this G natural. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, and let's look at what the left hand's doing. 1 and 2 and 3 and G major triad, then measure 22. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's an A major triad. And together we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Pause if you'd like some time to work on that. Otherwise, we're in the home stretch, just 4 measures left. Let's look at the right hand. The right hand is playing an E major arpeggio. So think of what notes are in the E major triad. We have E, G sharp, B, E, G sharp, B. But we're going to start on the E sharp. And the fingering that works best is 4, 2, 1, 3, 1. 4, 2, 1, 3 glides over, 3, 1. Now you try. Good, and then the next measure, still E major, but now we've come down to a lower position. We're going to start on this B, 5, 4, 2, 1, 3. Slightly different fingering this time, starting on 5, 5, 4, 2, 1, 3. Now you try. Good, and while the right hand is doing that, the left hand is doing this E major arpeggio, same fingering that we saw earlier, 5, 3, 2, 1, and then just hold that top note, 5, 3, 2, 1. Now you try. Good, and with the right hand you get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's getting softer and softer. Notice the decrescendo mark, triple piano, as softly as you can play. This is a very peaceful song, so don't hammer it out. Let it be beautiful and thoughtful. Now I'll play through the whole thing once with counting. I'll go at a slow practice tempo. You're welcome to try playing along, right hand alone, or left hand alone, or hands together, or you can just listen, whatever is helpful to you. I'll count 4 beats, and then we'll start, and I'll be using damper pedal. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 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 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 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 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just hold the damper pedal down. Notice at the end, not only is it getting softer and softer, the damper pedal just keeps holding down all the way through those last 4 measures. Great job getting started learning to play Wet Hands from Minecraft Volume Alpha. Don't forget that you can buy the sheet music to support the composer and Hoffman Academy by using the link below. Thanks for watching and learning with me, and happy practicing. Hey, Chef, here's a Minecraft joke for you.
Okay.
How does Steve stay in shape?
I don't know.
He runs around the block.
Nice one. Hey, did you hear about the Minecraft movie?
Yeah.
You know, it's a real blockbuster.
Hey, what does Steve say after taking a bite of rotten flesh?
What?
I'm never doing that again.
Oh, these jokes will never end.